Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Merry Christmas. It is the Christmas stream, given that it will be Christmas next Wednesday on, in fact, the best day of the week. Good to see you. Happy to have you here. Smash the like button, subscribe. We've got a jam-packed show for you guys, as we always do, okay? We've got a massive giveaway at the end of the show. It's a Santa suit, okay? So you don't want to go anywhere. It's going to be a blast for the members to show our love and appreciation for their support for the entire year. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, Dave Swolder. What's going on, baby? How you doing?
Oh. Merry Christmas to all the High Job supporters and people in the chat. Your old boy Swolder's doing pretty well, of course, you know. I had a great weekend, and of course, this is my favorite time of year, the holiday season, and it's the best day of the week. It can't get any better. It's High Top. It's Wednesday. Let's get it. Let's go.
It is a fantastic day. Good to see you, boys and girls. Like I said, jam-packed show. We got Cam Parker, which we're going to get into in just a moment, to talk about Billy Napier's interview today. Tyreek Sapp talked about his future with the Gators. Ron Roberts spoke about just his future and what's expected. We'll get into some portal talk. Netflix series for the Gators, another little Swamp Kings 2.0. That should be fun. Then we'll break down the Tulane game, and then, of course, get into Christmas giveaway. But let's dive into it, ladies and gentlemen. Cam Parker. What's going on, big dog? Can we get it?
Did I do the thing?
Yeah, do the thing.
Let's see if it works live.
Yeah, there we go. Good stuff. We got fireworks. We got fireplaces. It's just a nice little cozy afternoon with the boys. You know, we're getting hot and spicy in here. We got Portal Talk. We got Cam with us. Boys and girls, Merry Christmas. Good to see you.
Oh, wait. Other side.
Yeah. Well, Cam, you talked to old Napier today. We're going to talk about that first before we get into the portal madness. Guys committing left and right. People are losing their cahoots about that. But I do want to get your thoughts again, because Napier talked about just the future and, obviously there's a lot of noise and frustration of Billy's not moving fast enough, right? That's kind of where this all started, or stemmed from today. And he had a little quote that you posted, I think, that fired everybody up again with his comments on taking a break after the game. So elaborate.
Oh, yeah. For the fired up, if you're not in the High Top Discord, that's where it got fired up. Yeah, so basically that he was talking about staff changes, and it had to do with, of course, Austin Armstrong leaving Florida to become the defensive coordinator at Houston, which we can talk about that a little bit after we get into this.
Yep.
But pretty much he was asked about replacing him, and the answer pretty much was they're going to get through the bowl game, take a bit of a breather, and then kind of go into the search and, staff decisions and things like that after, which it's not a surprise to me by any means. I mean, contracts usually expire in January anyways. And they're kind of blessed with the fact that their bowl game is before Christmas, because they can get that done first and then focused on everything else right after. But yeah, it was people, kind of thought that, oh, here we go, old Billy Boy again is sitting on his behind, not doing much, just taking the lumps and showing no fire and sitting back and relaxing. But, I mean, what are you going to do in 3 days with a staff change? You know what I mean? Like, nothing was going to happen before the bowl game anyways. And the bowl game is super early, so it's not like you're going into the new year without any movement. They get this done. They got plenty of time to get things taken care of. And then I think by January, mid-January probably is when you'll start to see some of those more those in-depth moves. If any guys leave and if they make any hirings, that'll be around that time.
Yeah, again, I think the position changes, we've kind of heard about that. Is there going to be a new OC? Then obviously Ron Roberts departs to Houston, Austin Armstrong departs to Houston. Ron Roberts technically isn't the head defensive coordinator, but that was kind of where you and I were talking before the show, is like, I talked about it when it happened. I don't really feel like he was doing too much, and you were kind of elaborating some more. So can you clear up maybe the air a little bit on what, kind of Austin what role was and why his move to Houston makes sense because of how little he probably was doing while he was here?
Well, yeah. So Ron Roberts has been calling plays this entire year. That was kind of the question when he was hired of what was that going to look like. Is Armstrong going to be in control, but he's going to be like a side piece mentor, or is Roberts coming in and taking over? And it turned into Roberts pretty much took over the defense. He was calling plays and coaching the linebackers. Um, so essentially, with Austin Armstrong, they were paying a guy $1 million a year to hold the defensive coordinator position, but not get to call plays. So it didn't make sense for Florida. It didn't make sense for Roberts. He's a young, ambitious coach who wants to keep growing, and that just at the end of the day did not seem like it was going to happen at Florida anymore. Billy even kind of alluded to that when he was asked about it. Also, I want to clarify too, I'm not in Tampa right now, so shout out to our other writer, Harrison Smadjevitz, for getting all the quotes for me. He's putting in the work this week while I'm sitting on my behind, old Billy style. But Billy alluded to that too, that they were going to kind of let him go. That this was an opportunity for him. He wanted to call plays. He wanted to be the guy in control of the defense, and they weren't going to be the ones to hold him back from that. As far as his specific role, I know that last year it was very similar to when Patrick Toney was here. He kind of worked with the safeties while Corey Raymond, who was the secondary coach at the time, worked with the corners. And then this year, it seems like Armstrong was kind of a floater where he was kind of working with the safeties a little bit. He's a linebacker coach at heart, so then he'd go work with the linebackers a little bit with Armstrong. But it was a guy who didn't really have a defined role, it seemed like. He held the defensive coordinator, but he wasn't calling plays. He didn't hold any other assistant coaching titles, so he was floating around to other positions. And at the end of the day, like, Austin Armstrong's a great guy, but that doesn't really do anything. If he was calling plays, it'd be different. But at the end of the day, it just was not that way. So the move to Houston makes sense for everybody. For Armstrong, he kind of gets to a new place to where he could really make an impact, call plays, which is what he wants to do. And he wasn't able to do that at Florida. And then for Florida, you're saving $1 million a year for a coach that wasn't really doing much. And
what they're paid to do, yeah.
You get to hire someone else for a more specific role. Napier didn't really indicate what that would look like. But everyone looks to the offensive coordinator. Is Florida actually going to take the next step to actually hire an offensive play caller? They technically have an offensive coordinator on the staff right now with Russ Callaway, but will they hire a true quarterback play calling offensive coordinator? Well, now you have a spot opened up where you can make that move. So we'll have to see. I don't think any moves, though, will be finalized until January, but it's a move that makes sense for everybody. It didn't make much sense to have Armstrong anymore unless they gave him play calling duties back, and they weren't going to do that.
Yeah, look, people ask about Ron Roberts and stuff, and he's the DC right now. I mean, there's no issues right now. I think there's question marks on whether or not he'll still be here next year. His contract runs through next year, but there's obviously just kind of people talking about, like, we heard things during the season that things happen. I don't know. So who knows if he's still going to be here? It's just, I don't think people really have a true pulse. I know there's so many things that kind of spin around. There's this article run around today that kind of looked like it came from a donor, and it was like talking about the buyout money and how it was spent. The reason I bring that up was because another article was brought up that, hey, when Strickland agreed to bring Napier back, there was an agreement that he would bring in an OC. Like, all these things are hearsay. I don't think there's any fine lock-in print on this guy. So when people are like, well, I thought he was supposed to. There's no supposed to. There's probably hope. There have been conversations, but you got to understand there's just so many moving pieces to this. And again, I tried to say this before with the boosters. There's levels to it. And I think each booster kind of has their own opinion and feel, and they definitely get their hands involved and feelings and emotions in it. So when people say, hey, I thought this was going to happen, that was going to happen. And the same thing with the buyout money, the $26 that was spent. That was Pete Nelko's article that was written that we're not going to lose a bidding war. Like, that wasn't from anyone else that I know. From your side, did you hear anything from your end? Because I remember I had Keith on the show. I asked him like 3 times if that was a thing. And he's like, I don't know if that's really a thing. And I'm pretty sure I even asked you. Like, there was never any clarification from anybody that I asked after I read that article from anyone that's directly related to the program. And so people are running with it, but it's like, how much truth is to any of this stuff? Nobody really knows.
Yeah, and you're also looking at too that it's no secret that Florida's UAA is kind of a mess. That's been talked about all season, and that kind of extends to the boosters, where you kind of alluded it that boosters have their own different opinions. You have one guy who is all in on NIL, will donate to NIL no matter who the head coach is, and I see Dave kind of making that face, but then you'll have another guy who he puts the money in for a buyout and the buyout doesn't happen. And he says, well, I'm not putting my money unless it's for a buyout. Like, it's just, there's not a lot of intertwining or working together, it seems like. And listen, I can't tell you where that $26 million is right now. I can't tell you if it's for buyout or if it's actually being put to NIL. But
So you can confirm you're not the accountant.
But it's like the IOUs in Dumb and Dumber. You get an IOU, hey, it's good as money.
Yeah, but that's the issue too. Is that you can't. If this was the UAA or Scott Strickland or somebody who went to On3 and said we're not going to get outbid or lose bidding wars or things like that, you can't do that and then not engage in bidding wars. It seems like, you know what I mean. Like they lost Dallas Wilson on signing day. I know that whole issue was he pretty much was going to Florida. He had said he was going to Florida, and last minute Oregon comes in with an offer. And I tell you what, Oregon money is different than everywhere else when you got
it's a little greener.
Mr. Nike himself running the show. But yeah, you can't make it after this season where it was just nothing but chaos and bad blood and changing opinions and things like that. So it's I don't think anyone can really say anything about anything right now. I think that this is just one of those situations where all you could really do is sit back. It's frustrating and annoying because this is an era of college football where you could be on the attack. You could go get guys out of the portal and whatnot. You can go get assistant coaches for good money. But Florida is just always is in a weird spot, it seems, where nothing seems to click together. It always seems like they have the wrong Lego piece on their job.
Don't do that, Cam. Don't. You're pouring gasoline on it now. Easy. I do want to get your thoughts on Tyreek Sapp because that was one an article you dropped today. I was like, this as a Cam can't cut me some slack around here. It was asked about his future, and Cam had to word it a certain way, just to fire up the troops. That basically, Shamar said, look, I'm not really, focused on the future right now. I'm focused on this game come Friday. How easy would it have been for him to say, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. But no, he's still flirting with us. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it was plenty easy for Jake Slaughter and Austin Barber to say that they were coming back where they even, I didn't, okay. I had to put, okay. I always knew I was coming back. But yeah, when someone like Tyreek Sapp or Shamar James, who, they are a main contributor on the defense, especially someone like Tyreek Sapp who really broke out towards the end of the year. And there's kind of some hype about the NFL or, people are constantly questioning on if Shamar is going to enter the portal or if he's going to stay. When they released a quote saying, I'm not really focused on that right now, I'm focused on the bowl game, that's kind of oh crap, this guy probably going to leave. Now, I don't want to put words in their mouth and say, we're also in an era of...
Who brought this guy on? Holy shit.
But we're also in an
I'm
era
in a Santa suit, Cam.
Sorry.
What are you doing?
Have me be a Grinch the week before Christmas. That way you could get your motivation back up. But we're also in an era of college football where things change by the minute, right? I mean, we've seen that time and time again with the portal, with recruiting and everything. So it's not fair to say that things are a done deal. Even Billy, talking about the portal this week said, I don't really believe a guy is going to be on the team until January 16th when we start our workouts, like that's just the era that we live in, and he said, he straight up said, nothing surprises me anymore about anything. So
I think the Pyburn thing broke him. I really think that it broke a couple of us. I think the way that he was, I kind of didn't want to talk about it and just kind of how it unfolded. I think that was look, I mean, he's kind of that old-fashioned coach, and then why? I mean, look, we see exactly why Saban left, and you got a guy that he says like, "Hey, this is like my son," and he just backs up and leaves, doesn't even like look back to wave, and has a card deal 2 days later with LSU. It's like, damn, all right, it's like that. Like this was never a thing, you know. And I think that. And people are like, oh, he should be used to it. But, like, I think these coaches, man, and everybody has that kind of cutthroat mentality. You see one coach like Brian Kelly who's cussing out a wide receiver on the sideline and saying, what is wrong with you? And then on the other hand, you got Napier who gets emotional on senior day at the end of the game. Like, those are your two complete different, you know, just vibes of coaches. And which one do you want? I don't know. But that's just – so where we're in right now.
We want the one that pays $45,000 a month.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
But yeah, that's the era that we live in, and even Florida's kind of taken advantage of that to an extent, because no one remembers Jameer Grimsley and DeAndre Robinson signed their letters of intent with Alabama and Texas, and spring ball they were in Gator jerseys. Jason Sanders enrolled at USC, and by the summer he was at Florida. You know, so
we should wait until August of next year to be.
That's where I'm with too, and even with people panicking about portal moves, the portal reopens in the spring. So I get that like people are kind of frustrated about Billy maybe not making moves, and the only move being the fourth down quarterback, the punter from Michigan, which I think is I
huge
love punters.
Huge get.
Wrong. But and I understand the frustration, and I agree to an extent that Florida is moving a little slower than people would like in the portal. Especially
he was $45K for the year, boys. Okay, for the year, not a month.
You go back to the article too about Florida won't lose a bidding war that it wants to get involved in. Florida's also doesn't really seem like it's making a lot of portal moves right now. So what's the holdup there? And I think that goes into the frustration, but. This thing's far from over. You got the spring portal period. Bowl games, I think they've only done 2 or 3 bowl games. So once bowl games are done, you'll see more guys hit the portal.
Yeah.
You'll see coaches. And again, as soon as the coach leaves a place, every player in his team has 30 days to enter the portal, no matter what. So
could be coaching changes too coming the next 2 weeks, what you're saying. Okay. People get fired. I feel you. Ryan Day could be on the Hey, no joke, Ryan Day could get slapped Saturday. Like that's a legitimate thing.
My joke was always that Ryan Day could go 11-1, but if he loses to Michigan again, he's done. But I always thought that Michigan is a really bad team this year. Ryan Day got really lucky that the year that he was having the most controversy, it's the worst Michigan team in like 8 years. And then they still lose to Michigan anyway. So I feel like that's just I kind of feel bad. Like,
did you see where 40% right now of the horseshoe is Tennessee? Like they're buying the hell out of those tickets right now. Like that place is about to be orange.
Welcome to playoff season. Just because you host a playoff game does not field advantage.
Just means more, boys.
Shoot, it just home games don't mean that much when it comes to the playoffs, unless you're a team that's, a top-tier SEC program and playing a group of 5 team. But I don't blame Tennessee fans for wanting to make that trip, make it as...
Yeah, didn't a Tennessee fan, like, kind of scam the Ohio State fans into, like, selling their tickets to Tennessee fans or something like that? Something happened with, like, Tennessee or something like that to where, like...
Weird. And then there was someone on the Apple Maps changed it to like Neyland Stadium Junior or something like that. Like somehow they got that. Oh man,
it means more here in the SEC, boys. Finding out real quick. They're talking about the cold, but look, I think I hate Tennessee, but I want Tennessee to get it done. I really do.
Yeah, that way we can probably. Hey, Tennessee might be the final nail in the coffin, but I'm pretty sure that Michigan game was, but we'll see.
I think Tennessee will. Well, Cam, thank you for the insight, man, on the Napier interview today. Obviously, Ron Roberts, and of course, your fantastic, wonderful, warming news with Tyreek Sapp. Always appreciate it. Tell them where they can find you, man.
don't worry about it, Shelton. Enjoy the holidays, enjoy Friday,
Yeah, I will.
and
Thank you.
see what happens. Don't hit the panic button right now, okay? Don't hit send on any tweets. And I'm talking to you. Quit hitting send on the Blue Orange Gator account, please.
He's cooking. He's cooking. Tell me where they can find
Hey,
you
man,
on the X.
hat's blue up here.
I'm on X at Cam Parker 25. All my work is on there, and then obviously Gators Illustrated, Florida Gators on SI. Just Google Florida Gators Sports Illustrated, and you'll see all my work there. So we'll have 3 guys down at the bowl game. Looking forward to it. Nice little Tampa trip, and like the Gators will try to end the season on a high note and go full into basketball season. So should be fun, man. Should be fun.
Basketball team's cooking. Cam, we love you as always, man. Appreciate you. Go Gators, Bubba.
See you, Cam.
Thank you.
Cam Parker, ladies and gentlemen. Go give him a man a follow. That basketball game was electric last night.
Woo.
Boys
Yeah,
got it done. Brendan says, no Tennessee hate supersedes SEC love. So we're on the same page, right? Like we choose SEC love, or he's saying we hate. I don't know. What's do we
no
we cheer for the SEC, right?
I cheer for whoever I want to, and I don't cheer for my rivals. So
That's where it's tough. I got bad reverb on your end, Bubba. I think I hear myself through something. I don't know if it's me or you. $20 from my man. Hello, somebody. No, now for good news. How much for inside information on obtaining one of those white hoodies? They all into that white hoodie. Look, it's on the website. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Oh no, F Tennessee always. Okay, I hate Ohio State though. Like I hate Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't mind Ohio State. The thing about Ohio State fans is, like, they'll sit there and they'll brag about, like, oh, well, we always have consistent 10, 11, 12 win seasons and shit like that. And when in reality, everybody knows they recruit at a top 3 level and they don't play anybody all year. So it's like, cool. If I recruited at a top 10 level or a top 5 level and I was playing teams like Maryland and Rutgers and stuff like that, like, of course I'm going to beat the hell out of them. Like, that's just a cakewalk schedule. But then you go and play a team that's Michigan, who doesn't even recruit in your orbit, that's got like a 15th to 17th to 20th ranked talent profile every year, and you can't beat them.
Yeah, but that's not my question. Who do we cheer for?
I'm cheering for Tennessee just because of Ohio State. But
see, look, we got a war here in the chat. That's what I mean. Florida fans, we're never on the same page. I swear to goodness. I get what you're feeling. I hate Tennessee. Like it's a weird feeling. To me, it's a win-win. Because either Ohio State loses, and I love that, and I go make fun of them, and Ryan Day gets fired. If Tennessee loses, I go make fun of that hillbilly bunch, and it's fun. Like either way, it's a W. But I also like I always love having the ammo that the SEC is dominant, and I can just throw it in people's faces, like when I'm just like talking to people who are other fans, and just like, yeah, you guys suck. The SEC is the best conference ever, and I just I just like having that card. I like having that in my back pocket. So for them to go into Ohio State, like even Uncle Lou is kind of like on the Tennessee bandwagon because he wants them to go in Ohio State. He's playing the cold card. There's also this guy, Ohio Tate. He says that if Tennessee wins, he'll go and like plant the flag and do all kinds of things. I got to pull it up because I think it's funny, but I think I got to cheer for Texas to win it all because I want the SEC to still win. No, like who else do we go for? Or if it's like I would like SMU, but I can't have ACC win it. That would be atrocious. Like do you see the dilemma that I'm in?
yeah, wouldn't that be something if Texas had to play Georgia again and Texas beats them and Ewers decides to be an accurate throwing quarterback and actually beats Georgia this time? That'd be great.
Yeah. So, I mean, Oregon, Oregon won, I would be like, that'd be like the least team that I'd be concerned about if the Big Ten were to win again. It wouldn't bother me. Notre Dame, because they have no conference, is like honestly best case scenario. But then we get to hear there is no Notre Dame fans, but they kind of finally get to exist. It's a dilemma. It's a dilemma.
I think Notre
Boise
Dame's got a
State?
decent team though.
Boy, I
Notre
think
Dame's
Notre Dame's good.
Yeah, I mean, I think Boise State can make some noise too, especially with Gianti and all that too. I mean, look, outside of Gianti, they still got a pretty good passing offense. So I think, they could match up pretty well against some of the SEC teams. Obviously, of course, you've got to factor in the talent level and the talent profiles of each team playing each other. But, I think this is what I like about the 12-team playoff because it separates the men from the boys. And, you get a lot of in conference, like out of conference games, and you get to see who really is good out of the conference too. So it's like I even like the fact that SMU's in it. Like I love
Yeah,
it.
I think it's great. I agree. I'm going to go for them for a little bit, but I can't have. So here's the thing. If it's Tennessee, and let's say, who's a team that, let's say SMU,
Yeah.
or Clemson. Who do we go for?
Yeah, I mean,
It's a tough one. I can't listen to Danny Cano and Bud Elliott. I can't do it. I can't.
oh yeah, you definitely
sickens me.
root against the ACC. I would root against the ACC.
I can't see myself doing it. I saw people were giving me Indiana, Arizona State. I guess I could cheer for Arizona State. I guess I just don't think those teams can do it. Where my head's at. Edward, $5. If Ohio State loses and Day is canned, Smith to the swamp. That's also why I want Ohio State to lose. I really think it opens the door to some possibilities. That's all that I'm saying. Heart, minds, and opposites.
Hey, look, I'm going to say this. All you guys that are Jeremiah Smith to the swamp, you better hope Florida ponies up because his ask is a lot.
I'll donate.
I donate too. I'll donate more, but everybody else got to.
Not Tennessee, Sheldon. It's simple. Even if at SMU, all right. Jeremy Fennell says $2. Being from Tennessee, I will never root for them. I mean, I get it, and I guess I understand it. $2 says, as long as ETN doesn't get a ring, I'm happy. Look, I usually would be okay, kind of like, like Georgia. Okay, just Georgia will get it done, but I don't want ETN to get it because it's like ETN got the last laugh. I can't do that this year either. So it's basically Texas is our only saving hope for Florida fans to kind of keep the SEC brand alive.
I don't know, man.
Or Notre Dame.
I don't know.
I'm okay with Notre Dame at this point. I think Notre Dame, Boise, and Arizona State. Those are our three teams. Or Indiana.
Okay.
And Oregon.
So,
we got a few teams.
With Texas, they got a good passing defense, and I'll give them that. I just never thought Texas was like I think they're one of the best teams in the nation. I just never thought that they were the best team. Like, because if Quinn
Agreed.
Ewers was any kind of accurate, they would have beaten Georgia both times in a row.
Agreed. $2 from my mama. She says, love the holiday spirit, Santa Sheldon. Thanks, mama. Gotta get all jazzed up. We're doing a big giveaway at the end of the show. So if you guys are hanging with us for our members, doing a massive giveaway, I think I got 5 items over here of signed memorabilia. So don't go anywhere. I got almost 700 strong, so be sure to smash the like button and subscribe. We're going to talk about an edge rusher that the Gators just offered. But before we do, let's talk about our sponsors today, which are Tecovas. We talk about these bad boys all season long, all Christmas season long. You guys obviously went and scooped up some Tecovas because they want to continue to be partners with, which I love because I love me some Tecovas. That's one of my favorite brands we've been partnered with just because of the high quality boots. I love me a nice pair of cowboy boots. I'm getting me a new pair. I'm going to get me a nice new pair of the Deans. I want to see if I can do a little giveaway with them of a pair of boots. I think that would be fun. I'll see what I can do. We'll see. I mean, I'm going to do no promises, but I'm going to do the best that I can. So listen, boys and girls, handcrafted, genuine, fantastic pair of leather boots. There is no better time than to do it right now. Holiday season. Get yourself all sexed up with a nice pair of boots, whether it's the Dean, work boots, ostrich boots, whatever. Again, for me, this was exciting because I've been kind of waiting to get a nice pair of boots. These boots are absolutely fantastic, fit like a glove. And I keep saying this every single time, but I really can't stress it enough. Go into the building, go into the store, experience it. They hand out, they give you a little bit of bourbon or beer, whatever you want while you're trying on shoes, and then get your ass up out of there, head home, and go to tecovas.com/high top to get 10% off whatever shoe that you like. When you go in, make sure you sign up for the texts and emails when you guys log in there. That's how you access the 10%. That's tecovas.com/high top for 10%. Again, tecovas.com/high top sports to get 10% off and point your toes west, boys and girls. So next order of business. We have, I never went to this photo here when we were talking with Cam. That's on me. Let's talk about this young man. I'm gonna butcher his last. Butcher his name here. Kid's stud though. Kid's stud. Yeah, big boy. What's Kofi Tophelia? Is that what it is? Talk to me.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. Toophelia. I'm assuming. I'm the worst with names, so.
Yeah. Oh no, it's Kofi Asari. Sorry, Kofi Asari, 6'5", 215 pounds from UMass. We've sent him an offer as we should have, given the fact that we've lost 2 edges in the last 2 weeks with Searcy. Searcy hasn't committed anywhere, but I don't think there's any chance of him coming back. Just how the vibes were. he recorded 30 tackles, 3 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. So this one player makes up for what Pyburn and Searcy did for us last year. So could this be another George Gums? I mean, 6'5", 215. Come on, baby. Come on.
Yeah.
So I think they're working on setting up an official visit now. And again, watch what's going to happen. We send him an offer, and now the offers are going to come flowing in as we send these offers out.
Yeah, that seems to be the norm. Every time Florida offers somebody, then somebody else will offer them. Georgia will offer every quarterback that we try to offer just to keep them away from us and stuff like that, because that's what Kirby Smart does. But yeah, I mean, this kind of guy, obviously, you said it has more production than Pyburn and some of the other guys on the roster as well. Don't know too much about him because the offer was just presented
Today.
or it was just out today, right before I even got home. So I haven't really even been able to had time to watch film or anything. But Billy Napier, as I said, has been one heck of an evaluator, and he's been really, really good in the portal. He's missed on some guys, but he's had way more hits in the portal than he has misses. I would give it like 70-30, maybe even 80-20% on some of the portal hits that he's had. Of course, Gums was a hit. Obviously, Asa Turner or whatever, he obviously had the injury, so we don't know how good he would have been here at the University of Florida. Injuries happen, but that's why he recruited that position. He recruited 3 guys there. Triquise Bridges has actually turned out to be pretty good as well. So, I mean, if Napier sees something in this guy and the staff sees something in this guy, bring him in. Obviously, they do the measurements and everything else, and I don't even know if they do a camp for the guy considering he has tape. But, man, if they bring him in, they like what he is, and they like his size, he measures out right. I mean, I'm all for it because
got long arms.
Look, as long as as long as they bring somebody in productive, and I trust their evaluations in the portal, considering what they've done in the past, I'm okay with it as long as he can be productive.
Yeah, and I think Sapp to me scares me a little bit. We've lost some depth with Pyburn and Searcy's situation. We can't afford to lose Sapp. And if we're able to add this young man on top of that room that already is, I mean, I feel like I said, I feel comfortable about it. We still, I think, need to go out there and get somebody, and this is somebody with some promise. Again, this is reminds me of that Gums situation. Gums was somebody who transferred positions, kind of had the sheer size freak ability. Again, Gums is huge, and obviously we know what he ended up being. So could this young man turn into that same type of category? Feels like, I mean, look what he did at UMass. Again, Gums didn't have the same production at Northern Illinois, given the fact that he just changed positions, right? So this kid's already an actually edge rusher. Like Gums was not an edge rusher. Put that in mind, he was just an athletic freak and was able to hone in on the position this past year, which is just crazy to comprehend. So Gums, I believe, will go far in the NFL, just given his ability to adapt so quickly. And so this kid could be one of those diamond in the rough, great evaluations, and hopefully we can get him in and sign that paperwork, because again, they liked enough to send him an offer. So we'll keep an eye on this one. I really think, given the fact that today is Wednesday, right? The game's on Friday. I don't expect any moves to happen. Friday and Saturday, I would be shocked if any major portal moves happen, just because of obviously with the games going on. Because I expect Saturday the portal to get bumping, or Sunday and Monday of next week to bump up again, because teams will be eliminated. And again, Ohio State could be a factor. Tennessee could be a factor. You're going to have either Clemson or Texas. Those two big teams. Clemson has to be active. They recruited very poorly this year. Indiana and who else plays? Notre Dame, I think, and SMU
in the playoff.
Yeah, this week I'm trying to think of all the teams that play. So look, there's this weekend I think it's going to get even busier, and then they only have, again, at that point we're getting down to the wire when this portal closes. Again, it closes the 8th for the first cycle, which makes me feel, even with Cam the way that he was talking, that second portal is kind of looking like it's shaping up to be a busy one, Dave. We might have a busy. When is that? April? It's after the spring game usually, right?
Yeah, it's 1 week in April, and it used to be 2. Now they shortened it to 1. But I can guarantee you, with it just being 1 week, there's going to be a lot of tampering going on, because that's not enough time to be able to say, "Hey, come visit." Like, you got to think, all these teams, if spring goes and then you got guys that don't make it out of spring and they want to transfer, you're going to have to bring other guys in to replace them. So what other way are you going to replace them that quick within a week without tampering a little bit? Of course, now once they enter the portal, they can stay in there until, whatever. So all they got to really do is just enter their name in the portal. But at that point, you should be able to, and I even think it this way, you should at least fill most of your portal needs in the first portal period, because you got a whole month. There's going to be a lot of guys that enter. That's why I'm not like too. I know a lot of people are upset right now because we're not landing anybody, but I wouldn't be upset right now just based on the fact that there's still a month. There's still guys going in. You got Jonte Cook visiting. That's a high 5-star guy from Texas. He's going to be visiting at some point. So you got that in fold too as well. And there's some other names I've heard behind the scenes that should be either entering the portal or not entering. I can't really comment on any of that kind of stuff. So it's not the fact that like Florida's actually
Wait,
missed on
did you
some
say
guys.
more guys entering into the portal? You shouldn't just slip that past Santa like I wasn't paying attention. I'm checking my list twice. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, they're waiting on kids to enter the portal. I'm not saying that there's certain names that they just said, "Hey, look, we're waiting on him
From
to enter
other
the portal."
teams.
But
From other teams.
yeah, yeah, because you still got the playoff games, and whoever they've got a week. So like once their games are over with, they got a week to where they got a week to where they could enter the portal too once their games are over. So there's a lot of portal action that's still going to happen between now and the playoffs and everything else. So that's why I'm not really worried about it as well. Honestly, when they didn't take some of those wide receivers at the beginning, I was like, they probably have somebody else in mind, and kind of that's why we have that one little visit going on, and hopefully there's more. But yeah, I wouldn't worry, man. Like a lot of people are on Twitter. I see a lot of like posts about it, like. And that Gator chatter, I didn't get to comment on that. The Gator chatter board message, if user 282394 posts something on Gator chatter, that doesn't necessarily mean it's all true.
Yes, it does.
I read some of the stuff in there, and I could think the 26 million was never used. I believe that part, but the rest of it, nah, don't believe it. I don't.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's why I said people run with it just because if it's well written and it looks good, it's like this has got to be true. So the second portal is from April 16th to April 25th, and it is only open for 10 days. Yeah. And so here's where though that is going to be, I could see it being busy just because with this one being so short, teams got to act a little bit different, maybe more aggressive than maybe they would like, and they might find some things out in the spring, and it may adjust it. I do want to talk about this though. Because, yes, there are people getting frustrated about Billy in the portal, moving too slow. Let's literally take this all in for just a quick second, okay? We're seeing what other guys are coming into the portal. There was talks about Dylan Raiola being targeted, and that if he were enter into the portal, it would be a $3 to $4 million deal, okay? Yeah. If he's worth $3 to $4 million, what do you think DJ Lagway is? Do you think he's just playing out of the goodness of his heart? Okay? The Gatorade Player of the Year, Heisman favorite. That cat's worth. If Dylan Raiola is worth 3, then you got to think, okay, Lagway can ask for 4 to 5. Number one, let's start there. Okay, then you've got the edge rushers that are asking for $1 million out of South Carolina. You hear what Pyburn's asking for $500,000 almost, a little bit more than $500,000. So what does that mean? That Sapp and Gums and James and LJ, they can ask for the same thing now. Okay, that's number 2. Next being, why are we getting all these wide receivers? Well, all these wide receivers are probably asking for $1.1 or $1.2 million because they see what the kid from Georgia Tech is. And everybody feels that I'm the best kid in the portal, okay? You don't think Eugene Wilson was asking for the same amount? We heard Stephen Harris talk about it on Monday, what he was being poached for, okay? Or that he was being poached by people at Ole Miss. You think he's just staying out of the goodness out of his heart? And don't even get me started. The most coveted position in all the land right now. The O-line. Jake Slaughter. Brick. That guy's worth $1.52 million himself. I bet if Barber went, he'd be worth $1 million. Najee Harris, Damian George. You think these guys are just free? Florida's being cheap. I just listed off 8-9 players. That's easily $20 million tied up if they're getting paid what we're seeing the market value for. Now I'm not saying they're getting the max contract, but damn near DJ Lagway probably is. So this is what I keep saying is that there is a bigger focus on maintaining the guys at hand than anything else. And I actually have this is kind of all correlated because Jake Slaughter, obviously he stayed after being announced to Brick, and he had a phenomenal quote. Yep. He's like, I didn't even know I had to announce that I was coming back. I figured I'd just show up in January and play football. I didn't even realize that was a thing anymore. And again, I also want to kind of push back a little bit. Go ahead.
I actually like that attitude because a lot of those kids like the limelight and the attention. He doesn't even care. Like he just wants to play football.
Yeah, I agree. And my thing too, again, someone like that who's All-American he would, if he were to enter into the portal, he would be the highest rated offensive lineman that went into the portal. Meaning he would be the the kid that went to Georgia Tech, the offensive lineman, not Peyton Joseph, but the other kid, was asking for like 1.5. He hadn't even played a snap. This cat, Jake Slaughter's an All-American. And people saying, like, oh, Rob hasn't done anything. Jake Slaughter didn't play for Dan Mullen. Jake Slaughter has only played under Rob Sale. That's 2 bricks that Rob Sale has produced. Y'all want to hate, and I understand the man hasn't recruited like we would have liked, and I've had my critiques. But in regards to getting it done on the green grass, I mean, you got at some point we got to go, hey, he's producing.
Well, I mean, also in the NIL era, it is hard to maintain your roster because what happens is a player does really, really well. He wants more money. We saw what happened with Pyburn, and Pyburn, what he was asking for the production that he had, especially, it wasn't even the money that got me. It was like, oh, guaranteed third downs, this kind of stuff. Like, do you want your own island? That kind of crap. Like, that was ridiculous. But like, to maintain your own roster, especially when these players have gotten older, they get better, they make more plays. You're going to have to pay them more, and you got to have to retain them, or they're going to go elsewhere and get the money somewhere else. So, for Jake Slaughter to come back, I mean, Banks and all those big names to come back for Florida, that's actually pretty good. I mean, that's going to lead you into 2025 with DJ Lagway. Of course, now you're going to have to add some pieces through the portal as well. But to just maintain those guys, I mean, especially with the production that they had, especially towards the end of the year, middle to the end, it's a feather in the cap. I mean, like, you got to be able to do that. You got to have the money to do that. You got to have the NIL funds. And we last year, I'm not going to name any players, but we had issues with players wanting to leave because of their NIL. They felt like they deserved more money. I don't know if any of them got more money or if they didn't. I don't know, but that's going to be a yearly and annual issue for every single team. And this is why you're seeing so much movement in the portal.
And people are saying, other teams are doing this. Look, like teams like Ole Miss and Texas Tech, they didn't have a base where they were having to spend this kind of money. I mean, Ole Miss is losing a lot of guys. They spent a lot of money last year, but all that money just moved on to the NFL. They were 1-year contracts. Yeah. FSU spent a lot of money. I mean, I don't think I have to go any further than that. Oklahoma has lost 25 players in a time where they couldn't afford to lose anybody. Now, there's schools that are still holding on. Yeah, Texas and Georgia, they start hanging on. They're in a playoff. There's a little bit different scenario for them there, right? Miami, have they spent a little bit of money? Sure, but they're kind of in a weird place too. They're in the kind of, in my opinion, the same boat where they're trying to maintain some of the roster they put together and move. They just missed out on a big-time quarterback that they were apparently going to land. So they've got some wide receivers. Some wide receivers have left. Like, just kind of take a minute, take a deep breath, and look around. It's not like everybody's just cooking. LSU, LSU spending all this money. I mean, it wasn't like LSU was knocking anybody's socks off or had any big-time keepers. They lost guys as well too. So everyone has moving pieces, right? Like, again, when we have someone like a DJ Lagway, if a team were to go and sign a DJ Lagway, I can assure you some things would change. I mean, Nebraska had to make some moves. Nebraska lost a lot of people. You got to believe that probably because a lot of that money went into keeping Dylan Raiola, right? So we kind of sleep on the fact of what we're taking for granted. I'm not taking for granted. I think we know what we have, but I'm telling you, when you look around and you just see the cost of what everybody is, even Aaron Nolan leaving Ohio State, that's a massive one. I mean, that was their guy last year. He was a top 10 quarterback, top 7 quarterback last year for the class, and he's gone. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think the frustration is like the past where Billy Napier's moved slow in the portal, and I think it's just like starting to mount up, and then like people are getting irritated because I mean, like I think we're the second week now. I mean, it's not,
but nothing's really happened. Nothing's really. My thing is what I keep saying is people keep entering into the portal. Sorry to cut you off, but like it keeps every week, every time someone freaks out, like more talent just goes into the portal.
And then you see people on the timeline, they're like, "Oh, we got to get this guy now." It's like it's going to be like that. It's going to be like that next week too.
Yeah, and imagine if we would have spent all the money, we wouldn't be able to make any moves on it. So I don't know. I think we're in a place where we can be a little more selective, and I think that's something we have to kind of keep in mind too. Look, I think we got to make some moves. Don't get it twisted. We can't sleep on it, but I still think it's not over yet. Again, boys, be sure to smash the like button. Almost 900 strong. Let's try to get to 300 likes before the end of the show. Of course, at the end of the show, we're doing a massive giveaway, hence the Santa outfit. If you're just joining us, I wanted y'all to be aware of that. I thought this was pretty cool. I'm pumped for this. I've been preaching for this for quite some time. Like, we need a hard knock, but for college football, I think it would crush. And finally, they've been watching the show and they're like, "Yeah, we got you. Say less." I'm pissed that all these teams passed. I think they're a bunch of bitches. I also believe, for me, like I would love to think there's got to be some NIL incentive here, right? So these 4 teams, including Eli from Mizzou, Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, nobody cares about them anyways. Ole Miss and Texas all passed on being in part of this Netflix series. And to me, like, and Florida's in it. Florida's in it. We can't confirm that Florida is in this, which I cannot wait. I don't know how you would not want to be in this. I can understand how it could be a distraction, because I think that's why some coaches don't want for Hard Knocks. But it's a free NIL bid to me. I mean, this is crazy. I'm surprised that old Lane Kiffin out of all of them. That's wild to me.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think Kiffin would be the first guy to jump on that, but it's like, yeah, and Netflix isn't just going to come and film something at your school without paying you something, right? You don't get filmed on TV. You don't see these movie stars going on like these big movies and just doing them for free. I mean, they're getting paid millions of dollars. I'm not saying that they're going to pay that much on this Netflix documentary, but you're going to get something out of it. And look, I look at all these teams and it's like, look, Texas, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, Oklahoma. Like, these guys are, quote unquote, oh, too cool for school. We're not going to do that. We're better than that. Nah, half of your players have gotten DUIs and everything else over there at Georgia. I mean, Alabama's kind of falling apart there a little bit. I mean, you guys, like, it's free money. I would take it, to be honest. Like, all they're going to do is film you doing what you normally do, practice. They're going to do some interviews. They're going to do like a documentary kind of setup, and that's it. And then you go home and then you get paid. I don't understand. That's free money. I would take it.
I'm pumped for it. And Buddy's like, why not this year and not next year? Look, I mean, I think if it does well, which I think it will, I think it'll give us something to talk about next year, next summer anyways. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it again. And hopefully, I'm surprised Billy didn't pass. I really am. I mean, as kind of as nonchalant as he is, that he said yes to this. So, I mean, we are far removed from this. But when we get into the offseason, we kind of try to find things to look forward to. Last year was the NCAA game, and which we'll look forward to again because there'll be updates. But we'll also be looking forward to this, which I'm excited about. Conway today, I missed this. Says $2. Says always pull the SEC. That's how I feel. That's how I am. And then $2 from Rob Little says, heard anything about Gates surgery and prognosis? I haven't heard anything about that. In his prognosis anyways, or the surgery. I have not.
No, I have not gotten any updates about that.
Okay. What did you just eat? The wife's making cookies, so she is having me test the icing to make sure that it is it's high quality H2O. All right. So that's what we're doing here. Boys and girls, this show is, of course, brought to you by BetUS. And right now, I know that the odds are a little bit different elsewhere you look, but at BetUS, it's got Florida at -14. So if you like those odds, check that out. I think it's -12 and 11 elsewhere. So take a look at that when you go to BetUS and use the code YouTube150. You get back 150% and then 125 on your next two deposits up to $2,000. So, I mean, there's no better time to get onto BetUS, especially with the amount of games that are coming up this weekend and just bowl games this week and next week. We had our first bowl game yesterday where Memphis pulled out against not first one, but first like legit one where Memphis pulled out. I did a little bowl mania. We kind of did it last minute on Saturday. We posted it. If you were able to join, awesome. I believe I'm 2-0 or 3-0 right now. So 2-0, I think, which is great. Yeah, I'm cooking. I'm out there doing my thing. You know what I mean? Doing what I can do. So, well, that's not good. That's supposed to be
what is that?
That's supposed to be our giveaway show. That's just the background. That's how I read my comments. Let's talk about this Tulane game though. I mean, they're out. Their starting quarterback, their second string quarterback will be starting. And look, I mean, Florida should be able to have no issues with this. I know there's a little bit of there's drama with their head coach. I tried to put our little sheet together where I do like the numbers, but that data's gone because bowl games have started. So that's like the new year for them. And you kind of do a comparison. Although how much would it really have? Because again, with them losing guys to the portal, us losing guys to the portal, it's not the same two teams that have played all year long. What's your breakdown and your thoughts on this game, Dave?
Yeah, you look at Tulane, of course, they're out their first and third string quarterbacks. Ty Thompson's also in the portal, but he said he would elect to play in the game. Now, obviously, if there's an injury or he can't continue on in the game, that's like really, really horribly bad for Tulane. But at the same time, Tulane loves to run the football. I mean, they have a running back that's rushed for 1,372 yards, Mikey Hughes. Of course, now you look at the rushing yards and you're like, holy crap, 1,300 yards. But he's only averaged 5.3 yards per carry. They've rushed him 257 times. So they love to run the football. And here, Florida lately, especially middle towards the year to the last, they've been able to stop the run pretty well. So I think that's a good matchup for Florida. I think the key to just for Florida just to win this game is just to stop the run. Now you look at a quarterback like Ty Thompson. former 5-star quarterback. Of course, you got to factor in what he's done as a high schooler. Hasn't had that much college experience, even at Oregon when he transferred. I think he's only thrown 77 times in his career, probably 10 or 11 times at Tulane. So, of course, he's going to be, kind of, I guess, thrown in the fire a little bit in the bowl game. But, a lot of these coaches, and I actually like the fact that both Tulane and Florida's players, the draft eligible players, are all electing to play in this bowl game. Now, there's been some guys that have opted out on Tulane's side. I think one of their main defensive linemen's out, one of their DBs are out, plus I can't remember the other guy's name, but you've got starters opting out for that Tulane game, and Florida's players have not opted out except for the ones that went into the portal and transferred somewhere else. Tulane's had that as well. I just think talent for talent, you match them up. Florida should easily be able to win this game, but at the same time, I would also look out for Tulane, their run game, and maybe they'll create some kind of concepts or something in the passing game for Ty Thompson. And Florida's had a lot of injuries in the backfield and in the DB field, and they've given up a lot of third downs, especially to LSU, but they were bend, don't break when that happened. Does Tulane kind of push Florida towards the limit in the backfield? That's kind of the matchup I want to see. Obviously, Ty Thompson, he's got that big arm. He can do it. He was a former 5-star in high school, but not a lot of experience there. And, of course, you got DJ Lagway on the other side, who also is a former 5-star from high school as well. Obviously won more awards than Ty Thompson, but I like the matchup, but I think everything favors Florida a little bit more. Obviously, you got Mario Williams at wide receiver. He's caught for 940 yards this year. That's one of their other big-time weapons that they have on offense to look out for. But everything, all in all, especially when you put through the odds and the talent and the way that Florida's just been kind of carrying that momentum towards the end of the season, I kind of like that this game is a little bit earlier and it's not in January because you're still kind of carrying that momentum. And I'm also worried. I'm not worried, but I'm wondering about DJ Lagway's leg and how healthy that is as well. You saw him run a lot in that Florida State game. It looked like he had a lot more speed behind that leg. How does his leg hold up? Is he going to be able to maybe get out of a sack if it's going to happen, or does he? Hopefully, he doesn't re-injure the leg during the game and then stay into the pocket. But he's more of a pocket guy anyway, so hopefully the offensive line can hold up, especially with everybody returning. And I think Florida easily wins the game, but I wouldn't count Tulane out in the game just based on what they've done in their resume. But they are 0-2 against top 25 opponents.
Brennan says here, Tulane ranks 91st in rush defense, which again favors into Florida with just the run game and of course that O-line that Florida has put together. I feel like they'll be able to just bully the game and wear and tear Tulane out. It's not going to like everyone's going to want this high passing, high flying game, and I don't think it'll be that. We'll see, but it shouldn't be any issues. The mobile quarterback, you always have a little concern because Florida has not had the best history with mobile quarterbacks. But look, this again with them being ranked like that, I feel like our line and trench work should be able to bully them. We haven't lost anybody that. Again, we're still Cam Jackson. All the guys are playing. The only people we've really lost that were impact players would be Searcy and TJ Searcy and Pyburn. And it'll be cool to see kind of a first little glance at how the edge play is, right? Without those two, without Armstrong on the sideline. So again, I've been saying this whole time, what I love about this game is it's a true insight to what 2025 is going to look like. It's a small taste. And to me, it's to chance to go 4-0 in the 2025 season. That's how I've been looking at it this whole time, and I hope the team and the coaches are looking at it. Logan says Florida making playoffs next year. They better, or Dave's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, playoff or bust for me. But I see somebody in the comments saying that Florida should win easily, but still lose. I'm not saying that they can lose. I'm just saying that Tulane may put up a fight there. So
yeah, there could be a little scrappy.
I hate going into these bowl games thinking it's just an easy win because the last time I thought it was an easy win, it was against Louisville in the Sugar Bowl, and we got our tails kicked in. So,
boys and girls, coming into the top of the hour of the show, fantastic show. Don't go anywhere. It's time for Christmas. Hence the music. Okay, it's time for some giveaways for our members who I love and I appreciate so much. These are guys that have got the little piggies next to their name that have supported the show or supported the brand by donating monthly, being part of our Discord, and then also, never done this before, we're doing a special and extra, I'll show you, an extra giveaway for the last one, you see the circle's not as tight because there's only a few people in this category. It's everyone that has been a member for 20 or more months. So these are incredible, just primo members who we love and appreciate. And so I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. The fact that you guys continue to tune in every single week and show your love and support us means the world.
What? Hey, it's Shelton Claus.
It is Shelton Claus. I'm not sure I'm feeling that yet.
There we go. Ho, ho, ho.
A little better.
Very high top.
A little better.
Christmas.
All right. Let's get after it, boys. Let's get after it. Smash the like button, though. Let's at least get to 300 likes before we get there.
Yeah, give us 300 Christmas likes.
Hey, glad you're feeling better, by the way, Shelton. Thank you. Yeah, still kind of coughing. Little man's sick now, which is unfortunate. He's getting better, too, but it made its rounds through the whole family. All right.
Oh, I liked his Tom Petty rendition.
Yeah, he's the man, bro. He's the man. All right. First, this is a little too much for me. I think maybe back to the Jazz.
No, Brian. Tulane second string
This is
quarterbacks
perfect.
top. But still, your point still remains.
This is perfect. This is the perfect little song. First up, I mean, it's a banger. It is a signed photo by the man himself, Trey Burton. You guys remember the ball he fumbled?
Oh,
The
snap.
Georgia game? Yeah, that was the game that my wife and I almost got a divorce because I was so pissed that he fumbled the ball in the end zone there. But signed Trey Burton. Let me get my pen and paper out so I can remember. Also, guys, if
That's
you
the
win this
best-
award, you've got to
best-
email
you
me.
You got to say, hey, man, 6 touchdowns against Kentucky, all right?
I know, but that fumble hurts me.
Yeah, well, there was like 6 of them that game. Which one?
The one at the goal line, Dave. Everyone remembers what I'm talking about. Silver,
The interception at the goal line, too.
Silver has not committed yet, which is interesting.
It is interesting.
All right, boys. Here we go. First gift goes to... Drum roll. No more duck races because we got too many people. I can't fit all the ducks in there. Here it is. Who's it going to be? I can't see it, so it's going to pop up. Eat a Dick Racing. That bastard.
Congrats, Eat a Dick Racing.
Yeah, he's a bastard too, but good for him. He's been supporting the show literally forever. And if you win once, you cannot win again. So Trey, you were in our the second one because you've been a member forever. So you can't win again. But somebody tag Eat a Dick in the Discord and let him know that he won. I'm gonna remove Eat a Dick from this list, so he can't win again.
Congrats,
All right, cool.
Eat a Dick.
I don't have frames for all the photos.
Congrats, Eat a Dick.
Next up, we have a signed photo of Eric Rhett.
Oh, snap.
There it is. There it is.
Eric Rhett, baby.
Signed photo. It's rigged. Here we go.
Rigged.
Let's see what the
Oh,
Discord's
David,
saying there.
it landed on me. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Dave can't win, and neither can Cody, because Cody isn't here. Chris has won.
Chris, I don't think I've seen them in the chat today.
Me neither.
They'll watch. I'll find out.
Me neither. Christoph, congratulations on winning Eric Rhett. All right. Next up, we have everyone's favorite coach, Kerwin Bell.
Kerwin Bell. There
Yep.
we go.
There he is.
That's a good one.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
Signed. Kind of fingering it up there a little bit, but Kerwin Bell,
Finger it.
everyone's favorite coach they want. So I hope somebody who keeps asking for him to be the next coach is able to win. Sorry, we'll go back. Money Green.
Oh, I like it.
All
This
right.
is hippity hoppity, man. I'm liking this.
I don't think I do.
Money Green. I don't think I've seen Money Green in here either.
Me either.
Oh, by the way, smash the like button, people. Let's go, baby.
This song ain't cutting it.
Oh, man. It's peppy, man.
No, that was not it. All right.
It's like Super Mario Brothers, man.
All right, next up we have. I framed it, but I can't remember who it is. Do you know who this is, Dave?
57. I don't know. I'm not that old, so.
I know. I can't remember who that is. I'm sure Muddy will know who it is.
Muddy Waters will know.
Yeah, Muddy. Watch Muddy win, too. If Muddy wins, they'll definitely say that it's rigged. Here we go. Harrison Sanchez. Hell yeah, Harrison. Oh, he's right there. He just said it was rigged.
He said it was rigged. He said it's rigged, and then he wins.
All right, Harrison, you can't win, dude. Sorry, it's rigged.
Yeah, it's rigged. You can't win, man. We're going to
All
spin
right,
it
we're
again.
going to spin it again since Harrison said it's rigged. Lawrence Wright? That's who it is. Thank you, Brendan.
Yeah.
I can't believe.
I should smack myself for not knowing that.
I can't believe he says it's rigged and then literally wins the next one.
It's rigged.
That's hilarious. Should we not let him win, guys, since he said it was rigged?
Yeah. It's rigged. Rigged.
All right. That's so loud. I don't know why that's so loud. Don't you effing dare. That's funny. All right, boys.
He's like, don't you spit again. No, meat spit, man.
For our special members, we have a signed jersey for volunteers, boys and girls. I don't want to take out.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So signed, Sir Kears himself. You can see, yeah. Still rigged. Still rigged. I love it. Congrats, Harrison. Harrison's always in here, man. Happy for him. Good shit, man. And Eat a Dick. Those guys, those are names I recognize. So this one's gonna go out to somebody who's been supporting the show again for a very long time. There's some names on here, like my wife and stuff, that obviously I'll tell you if they count or not. But here we go, boys. These are guys that are very active in the Discord too. They've just been around forever. Holly cannot win, and neither can my mom. And my mom won. Yeah, that's my mom. Sorry, Mom, you can't win either. It is rigged. I love how my mom wins. Sorry, guys, I get to keep it.
It's okay. She won the other night. Oh, never mind.
Look at that. Rob Little just, oh my gosh. Rob Little just said it was rigged, and it just missed his name. It just missed his name. Kyle Bray, my man, from Uptown Scratch Kitchen here in St. Augustine, Florida, man. Shout out Kyle Bray for winning the signed jersey, my man.
Congrats.
All right, boys and girls. Kevin Carter is 57. Not right. Oh, it is Kevin Carter. The freak.
Okay, good.
I want to sign Marco Wilson's shoe. Rob Little says no. Bro, I thought it landed on Rob. Look, it literally is on Rob's name right now. That's how close it is.
If we could get the original LSU shoe signed by Marco, I think we could probably sell that.
I would buy that shoe.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you mood. I have two photos here. Oh, I have some photos of my own collection that I'm willing to part with.
Oh wow! All right, Shelton Claus, you got to. It's the season for giving. It's the season for no coal in the stocking for anybody on High Top. Can't do that. Looks like he's about to cry.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
Just pull that bad boy out.
There's three pictures that I'm debating about. Two of them I grew up watching. One of them's a legend. And the two that I grew up watching, obviously I grew up watching. So it's hard for me to part with those. The other one's a legend that played in the 90s. And it's like, that's kind of Pyburn picks. Like, that one's kind of iconic. I think I have came up with my mind.
It's a signed ETN photo, isn't it?
It is. It is. I think more people would be more excited to give the one that I'm debating.
Well, I say you do eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and then you just pick one.
No, I can't do that. can't do that.
What are we gonna do?
So one of them is Major Wright, who's like my favorite player of all time.
Yep.
I can't get rid of that one.
Shelton Claus. Ho ho ho.
The other one's Brandon Spikes.
Oh boy.
It's a hell of a selection here we're working with. All right. The last one's iconic. It's Fred Taylor scoring a touchdown off FSU. I have a signed Brandon Spikes jersey, is why I'm more willing to get rid of the Brandon Spikes one.
Yeah, the Fred Taylor one's pretty nice.
Well, that's what I know, Dave. I know.
I would want that thing.
Here's what he said. Damn, keep him, man. No, look, man. I think for me, like, I love them and I appreciate them, but I also know how happy they make everybody, and that's why I enjoy doing it. Again, Major Wright is somebody that I've talked to, interviewed. Like, that's a hard one for me that I can't ever get rid of. And I have the Brandon Spikes jersey, which I love. I was glad that I have that. So I'm going to do Brandon Spikes. Brandon Spikes being part of the team now, I feel like it's not as I can come with it. So this is what we're doing here, boys.
The coach now.
So, yeah, coach now.
Coach Brandon Spikes.
I think people will love that one. I've also had it on my wall, and it's kind of did its time. Yeah, I'll show you the Fred Taylor one.
Oh God.
Like this one is like.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it's like
you're gonna give that one away.
It's like dumping on FSU. That's kind of like I can't. That one's gotta be one I tell my kid about.
That's gotta be last.
No, we're not doing that one, Dave. That one's staying in the crib. All right, here we go. Brandon Spikes, boys. Here we go. Is it Devil Dog? Oh, it's Cody Phillips at the buzzard.
Wow. It was almost Devil Dog.
Almost.
Cody Phillips.
All right, boys. Harrison, shoot me a message, man, at High Top Sports 2 so I can get your info. I'll try to get these out over the next couple of weeks. It's a little busy right now with sending stuff out, so it may not be there before Christmas, and it'll probably be there after the New Year, to be honest with you. But I'm off next week, so but yeah, we'll get them out as soon as I can, and as soon as I can get everyone's information too. That's obviously going to be a factor. So, but yeah, shout out to the members that have been a part of the family. You guys obviously are very mean a lot to me, so wanted to give back to the fam and show some love. I've got also too. I've got to do the drawings for the Georgia shirts that we sold, the signed Anthony Richardson photo, and so yeah, I'll be doing that probably soon. Maybe next week we'll do it.
And shout out to the people that came out to the Florida Victorious event in Atlanta. I got to meet some fans of High Top. They were actually asking about you too, Shelton. I was just like, Shelton lives in St. Augustine, man. He's not coming, But it was a great time. I mean, like Nick Delatorre was down. Nick Delatorre was down there. We were messing around with him. Took a couple of pictures. Had a couple of drinks. Went to the basketball game. Of course, saw them whoop Arizona State and did a little vlog on it. But yeah, man, shout out to all the High Top members. Of course, I joined 2 years ago now, Shelton. I think I've been here 2 years. It was crazy, and I was actually kind of scared to take that leap. But I actually did, and I'm actually happy that I did. So it's a joy and it's an honor every time I get to come on here every Wednesday and get to talk to you folks and see all the funny comments in the chat and all that too. I really appreciate it, and I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, because there's some people that can't enjoy it with other people this year. So just make sure that you enjoy it with your family and know that, be thankful for that.
Absolutely. And you guys say member T-shirts. I can definitely work on that. I actually forgot. We have one more giveaway.
Oh, we do?
Yeah. Mr. Harris said that he would do a signed mini helmet.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the champ.
By the champ himself. By the man that met. So I'm going to put everyone back in for this one here. Everyone back in here for this way. This is crazy. So Q, where's the Shelton? Has anyone ever told you that you look like Casey from Yellowstone? They fuck with me? Because literally 3 times this week, I got told that. No joke. No joke. Got told that 3 times this week. Like,
I'm gonna tell my wife that. She watches that show all the time.
Yeah, I was rocking the cowboy hat and somebody said that. I don't know if they're effing with me. All right. Yeah, this is the last show before Christmas because Christmas is next Wednesday. It probably wouldn't be the last show, but it's the last main show. Like we'll be live again. But
Yeah.
yeah. All right, here we go. For the signed Stephen Harris helmet. Mini helmet, boys. Here we go. I can't see it. F is for Fanatics. Oh my gosh, that's Cody.
Oh man.
He can't win. He's gonna be so pissed.
Oh well.
Spin again.
Sorry, Cody.
I mean, Casey's a stud, so I appreciate the compliment. Homebrew Studios. I'm trying to think of who that is.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, he may have been in the chat before.
Yeah. All right. Well, there it is. Dave looks like the bald guy from home.
What does he say? Dave looks like the bald guy. Joe Pesci. That's Joe Pesci, right?
Oh, man.
What are you doing, you motherfucker, you?
Come on, Daddy needs new shoes. All right, boys. Hope you guys enjoyed the Christmas show. Appreciate y'all, like I said. And again, Merry Christmas to all and to all a good night. We'll be, obviously, we've got the games Friday. We'll have the halftime show, the call-in show. Like, we don't stop, but like this was the last main show, which is obviously where it all originated, where it all began on this Wednesday, beautiful afternoon. What an incredible year. We'll do a year recap. I guess next week. I don't know when.
I might call in from Long Island University.
There we go, baby. There we go. Boys and girls, of course, this show is brought to you by BetUS. When you use the code YouTube150, you get back 150% on your first deposit, $125 on your next two. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe. We love y'all. Be safe. Merry Christmas. Peace and love, baby.